Welcome back to Destiny on BlackTideTV. Today we're taking on the Summoning Pit Strike. This is probably my fastest run through this strike I think I've ever done. I got into a strike playlist and I ran into these two guys and they're like level 40s and they were just like booking it through here. So this is going to be a fairly short video. It's like a 10-minute video. So it's actually fairly short for a strike, but the commentary isn't going to be so much about the strike itself. It's going to be about Destiny as a whole and kind of what Destiny is all about, the whole style of Destiny, and then we're going to talk about maybe the future of gaming and how that relates to Destiny and the way that the Destiny is developed and how DLC is produced and all kinds of stuff like that. You are also going to see at the end of this gameplay, I'm going to show you the final golden chest, and then right after this video, maybe alongside this video, you'll see another video coming out. It's going to be the moon guide for finding all 5 chests and like where they all are, and I'm gonna explain a bit more about that in that video, so make sure you're looking out for that one. Subscribe if you haven't already so you can make sure you don't miss that one. So the commentary is going to be basically about Destiny's style. So what is Destiny's style? Destiny, when it first came out, the developers, I believe it was the developers, but it was told that it was going to be a 10-year game. This is going to be the first 10-year cycle game that we've ever seen, where the developers wanted it to just keep evolving. Instead of going out and buying a new game like Destiny 2, Destiny 3, instead of going out and buying a new game every single year, they want this game to just keep lasting forever. They want this game to last 10 years and just keep getting updated and updated. And instead of, like I said, instead of going and buying a new disc every time, you can just install another little download and it will increase the game. It will broaden the game even more and add a whole new area, which we've seen with the Taken King. So this is kind of how Destiny is believed to be. Instead of just having a 1-year game where maybe you get the game like Call of Duty, you get the game in November and then you see DLCs like every 3 months or so as we go through the year. Now, instead of that, Destiny wants to just have every year come out with a new thing, and we've seen that, like I said, with the Taken King. The Taken King is year 2, and they've completely revitalized the game. They've completely changed everything that there is to know about it, and they completely changed the game. That's all I can really say about it. Like, when Taken King came out, they really made it into Destiny 2. The first original Destiny is completely different, apart from maybe like the missions and some of the menus and all kinds of stuff like that. Most of it has changed, but apart from some missions, some menus, some weapons, and obviously the character classes, it's a completely different game, and it's completely refaced, and it's just really impressive on how they did that. However, it could come with some downfalls. Now let's talk about the future of gaming and how Destiny might relate to that. So this is the first 10-year cycle game. It's very, very interesting to think of other games that might become like this. Fallout 4, could you imagine playing Fallout 4 with the same game, but it just keeps getting fresh every year? We add another area to explore, more missions to do, a higher level cap so you can keep leveling up, more classes, more perks, more attributes, more weapons. Could you imagine a Fallout game like that? Could you imagine maybe a Call of Duty game where Call of Duty comes out in November, we see some DLC for the original game throughout the year, and then the next year, instead of going and buying another Call of Duty game, we see the next chapter of the first Call of Duty game. I know Call of Duty is maybe a bit different in that respect because of the different development teams, but because the game is spread out between Treyarch, Sledgehammer, and Activision now, or not Activision, I mean Infinity Ward now. Maybe that one wouldn't work as well because every year we have to have a new developer making that game. But it is a good thing to think about. Maybe a Call of Duty game that just keeps refreshing every year. Next year you get a whole new section, a whole new campaign, a whole new zombies or survival mode or whatever it is, and you get like 20 more maps that add in, and then you can play with all of the maps. You get a whole fresh set of guns, and you can use the guns on all the maps, in a whole new fresh set of perks, and it just piles on. And the way that games are like this, the way that Destiny's like this, it just piles on and makes one uber game, one super mega game that just encompasses years and years of development in one single game. We wouldn't see long development times and long wait times for games anymore. We would see instead a game comes out, well, we'd wait for the first game to come out, and then that's it. That is our game. We can play that game for the next 10 years, and then, but say this time next year, we have extra. Then this time the year after that, we have even more and more and more. And instead of waiting for games, the development team just has to make the core game, and then they can, instead of restarting from scratch, erasing their entire files and starting over, they can just build, and that will make it building onto something is a lot easier than completely restarting it from scratch. So the development times, we would see extra part of a game every single year, no matter what game it was. I have talked to a lot of my friends about this, about Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls, I've only done one video on this channel, but hopefully we'll be getting into a little bit more of that. But I don't know how many Elder Scrolls fans I have out there watching me. But Elder Scrolls, in a huge, like, super mega game, single player game, not Elder Scrolls Online, we're gonna forget about that, but a huge game of Elder Scrolls where it just keeps expanding would be unreal. Say you start off, you pick your character class or whatever, and you start off in a certain area of Tamriel, and then next year you unlock the next area, and you can go to another country, and you can go, or not another country, but another, I don't know what they're actually called in Elder Scrolls. I'm pretty sure they're countries, but you can go to another country. You can go from Skyrim to the Imperial City, and then from the Imperial City to this place, and you could just jump all over every year, add a whole new sizable piece of map to the game. Think about Skyrim. Think about how huge that game was. Elder Scrolls Online is bigger, but Elder Scrolls Online, you can't access every single part of Tamriel. It's certain parts of certain countries. Whereas with this, you could say, here's Skyrim, and you start with Skyrim, maybe. It wouldn't start with Skyrim, but think about the size of Skyrim, and then that is your original map. Year after that, that whole size again gets built on, and you get to experience an entire country of that size again next year. The opportunities for expanding on games are endless. Instead, what we're seeing right now is new games and fresh games and revitalizing games and stuff. The only thing that's actually combating this is Destiny, and Destiny is really making a name for itself in the community. How it just keeps expanding and expanding and bringing in more and more. I think that this is the future of gaming. I think that expanding on games is a lot more. It's a lot smarter than maybe doing new games every year. I don't think doing new games every year is a really great idea, apart from maybe Call of Duty. Call of Duty is kind of like Call of Duty is its own little its own little genre, I think, in gaming as far as it goes. But on other games, on RPGs, even on racing games, on anything like that, I think expanding is a great idea for video games to get into. And I don't think that we need to keep seeing, like, oh, here's this game and here's the next game, here's the next game. It's like, I don't want to go out and spend $80 on a brand new game every year, especially when a year is not enough time to get through my original game. We need more time as gamers to play through our games and experience every single bit about it, so we don't have to rush through strikes like this where we're just running through as fast as we can because we want to experience everything before next year when part 2 comes out. We want to be able to keep going back and completing the game to 100% completion, and we can't do that when the next game is coming out next year. We have to have the time, and I think that expanding on games will give us all that time, because yes, you have the original game and you have been playing it. Well, here's the next part. When you're ready, you can attack that part, but it's all going to be part of the same game. I think expanding on games is smarter. I think it's cheaper in the long run. I think that that if we expand on games, we're going to be spending less on games. It's not going to be $80 every game. Every game, it's going to be more like $50 for a huge expansion or something every year. Here's the last golden chest that I mentioned. I think so. It's going to be smarter. It's going to be cheaper. It's going to be faster, and it's gonna be better all around. I think that expanding on games is just a great idea, and I love that Destiny's actually pushed that idea into the industry. Thanks a lot for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like. Comment down below what you think about games expanding on themselves instead of a new version of the game coming out in a part 2 or a part 3. Thanks a lot for watching. Again, guys, subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you're looking out for that moon chest video, and I'll see you guys on my next Destiny video.